So let me ask you this, Kay. Let's kick things off here, shall we?
Yeah.
I know we just went a billion miles an hour as I was setting up this stuff because somebody decided to show up half an hour early for who knows what reason. You're just motivated on a Monday today?
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm usually late.
Yeah. Way to go. Way to go. It's good. No, it actually helps us all out because we'll get out here a little bit earlier and take care of some things before bed. That's great. At any rate, what are you most grateful for today?
I am most grateful for my team and those people around me who lift me up on days where I don't feel like I can keep going. They keep me going. They motivate me. Yeah.
And you said your team. You've got about 5 people. Is that right?
Yes. There's 6 of us total. 5 team members, yeah. And me.
And you.
And me.
5 plus you. Okay. Now, are they all local?
Yes.
You're kidding me.
All here in Austin.
I think it's reasonable enough to talk about this when it comes to your team and your organizational chart. Would you mind giving us a little inside look of what that looks like? You are the CEO, right? That's bullet point number 1. What about the second bullet point? Who else is on there?
So Evan, he is my go-to partner for everything. Helps me with events, helps me with sound and audio visual. So he does all the production.
Evan. What's his title? Producer?
He is my chief systems officer is what we call him.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
great.
He helps me with systems.
Okay. And then the other 3?
The other 3, we have Justin.
4.
Yeah, 4.
4.
Justin, he's my cameraman, and he does all of my MailChimp and writing. He does some creative writing, online community building.
Yeah.
And then Anand, he is a manager. He helps me with event production.
Wow. And
then Carlo is like my assistant, my everything. He also doubles as a security guard when we need him.
Yeah.
So then those are those. And then Dills, Dills that's his DJ name. So
yeah, DJ Dills.
DJ Dills, yeah. So Dustin is ambassador, and he helps me with a lot of, he does a lot of just helping me with the music side of things. Like, how do I talk to certain types of artists? Like kind of working through those questions when I'm doing artist interviews and things like that.
Sounds like quite the crack team.
Yeah, we got a good team.
No girls?
Not yet.
So 5 dudes and a girl?
Yeah.
Wow, did you plan that?
No. Did not.
Well, just so happens on my real estate team, it's all dudes.
Okay.
I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
It just happened that way.
Yeah.
I had a girl. I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe the next one will be a girl because I could use some feminine energy.
Yeah. So if you're out there and you're a girl, holler at Kay. Kay Coté, everybody. Cote. What's that last name from?
It's French.
Oh, oui.
Oui.
Parlez-vous français?
I know.
No.
I wish.
No.
No.
Fun fact. Again, hitting you with the second fun fact in about 10 minutes. I was in France last week.
What?
Believe it or not.
That's
amazing. For the first time. Yeah. What an incredible city. Have you gone?
Not yet.
I could tell you would like it because you like to travel.
I love to.
You like experiencing new things.
Yes.
Yeah, I can sense that right off the bat. You're a curious person. You like learning new things constantly. You probably are an avid educational person, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Question about that. How do you go about doing that? How do you proactively seek knowledge?
Actually, conversations like this and podcasts and listening to podcasts or interviewing people, talking to people.
Dang, that's fired up.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Thank you.
Yeah. Education will set you free. Once
I agree.
You apply what you've learned, of course, you got to apply it. But yeah. So let's talk a little about what you're doing right now. The way I like to go about this is a fun little timeline. Talk about what you're doing now. Then we're going to throw it way back. We're going to hop on that school bus, Kay.
Okay.
We're going to talk about your childhood.
Oh, man.
Yeah, oh, man's right. We're going to talk about elementary, middle, high school, post-high school if we got time.
Okay.
And then we're going to cast the vision for the bright, shiny future and talk about your legacy.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Ready to rock and roll.
So, okay. What have you got going on right now?
right now I'm building Amplify EDM. It is an entertainment company with a media component as well. We are just here to amplify events, make events as great as they can be, and kind of change the game on how people are doing events. And we add a component of music, especially electronic music, but we also work with live artists as well. So we provide a platform to talented artists and really tie into like the local talent around to give them a platform and create an experience around that.
You know, I heard a quote today, probably 10 minutes before we linked up outside the door here. And the quote goes, don't look what other people are doing. Look at how you can do things differently. And here you are doing things differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very much.
That's fired up. And I think it's safe to say that you're the best in class.
Yes, we like to really provide top-notch experience and make sure the vision comes to life of the client, and make sure we're working with top talent in Austin and, you know, around the community as well.
Yeah. When you say community, would you mind elaborating a bit?
I guess we're branching into all of Texas. You know, we're really checking out like what's in Houston and what's in like Dallas-Fort Worth area. And I mean, I just threw a party for my hometown of Fargo, North Dakota, and that, you know, got some local talent there and put on a really good show for the community. So I think of community as more of like, not so much like the area that I live in, but like the community within a space I'm working in. And it can be local, it can be anywhere, but creating that community around everyone involved with the project.
Well, kudos to you for thinking differently and for being bold and for putting yourself out there. Because you got to admit, it's no joke starting a business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In the music industry, come on.
This wasn't even
in the
planned.
event space, come on. Right?
It wasn't planned.
Yeah. And you're having a good time.
Yeah, I love it.
And you're making things happen. Right?
Yeah.
Side note question. How did the Fargoians say Fargo?
Fargo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I wasn't sure because, you know, is North Dakota anywhere close to Wisconsin?
Well, Wisconsin, and then there's Fargo's more of like a Fargo. Like it's a strong O. And so it's like, don't you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Right? Is it Fargo?
It's Fargo.
Yeah, see?
Ooh, it's Fargo.
See?
Yeah.
That's not how you first said it. That's not. You said Fargo.
Yeah.
You got to get back to your roots.
I noticed the accent a lot when I went home on like friends, and I was like, and then mine came back, and I was like, no.
No.
I love you guys, really, I do.
No. Maybe. Yeah. Did you happen to kick a couple back when you were up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, right?
Had a couple of drinks, yeah.
Now, I don't know about you. When I go back to New York, and I kick, or actually, not even when I go back to New York, just if I kick a couple back, which has been over a year and a half since I've done that, but when I did, it would really come out.
Yeah.
I'd be talking like Joe Pesci over here.
My brother looks like Joe Pesci.
Yeah, so imagine that voice and your brother.
Oh, man.
That's me, right?
That's funny.
A little bit. Does that happen to you? You recognized it?
I didn't recognize it when I was there.
Okay.
But maybe.
Apparently it's a thing.
I could.
When people get a little loosey-goosey, their natural accents come out even more.
I have heard that before, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just fact-checking myself here. All right. So you've got this incredible, it's an event company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But also you're doing production of a sort. Because you've got a producer.
Yes.
On your team.
Yes.
Yeah. I think people generally get the idea of what a production or an event company is, right? They host events. Let's get into the finer details of what you do if somebody were to step into your space in an event. What would it look like for them?
Well, we really curate the run of show. We really put a focus on run of show. And run of show is just that start to finish of what happens, what artist is on. We usually work with multiple artists to create an experience. So we like to create almost like a movie. You think of a plot, you kind of there's, you're working towards a climax and then there's like a finish on it. And we kind of create that same thing within an event. We like to start off maybe a slower, maybe a little softer music, and then like take it up, amp it up, amplify it. And then, of course, like depending on what the artist is looking for too, we like to just like work with our artists and then with our clients as well. And sometimes our artists are the clients because we throw parties for artists that are showcasing, like if they have a big thing, a record deal or something, or a music launch, whatever it is that's coming out, we can throw a party for them, for the community. So we really look at all the moving parts very carefully to create an experience that can be enjoyed, that feels natural, and it feels like it progresses at a natural rate. Like you just feel good the entire time. I call myself a chief experience officer because I want to make people feel really, really good in the experience that they're having. And that's what we really hyper focus on, the details there to make sure that's going down.
So what I'm hearing you say, Kay, is that you go ahead and take that bottle of hot sauce and you sprinkle it on top of the events that you're hosting.
Yeah, they're spicy.
Yes. No, that sounds freaking cool. Can anybody, or let me ask you this rather, one of your events that's coming up in the next couple months, can the average person off the street show up to any of them, or are they all private?
They're open. We do open events. We sometimes do private events too.
Yeah.
But right now, like whenever there's, I have an event on the 18th. So, I have an event, like we have events, multiple events a month usually. One big one, some smaller ones. But yeah, the community's invited.
Oh, can you name drop an event coming up soon?
Yes. We just partnered with Limestone it's at the Cambria.
The scooter company.
No.
Lime scooters.
Well, Lime scooters.
Totally.
Maybe we can partner with them too.
Yes.
To be a sponsor.
Scooter
over.
Oh, great.
No,
great.
we don't want a scooter back.
It's dangerous.
Scooter over Uber back.
Scooter over Uber back. That's a mouthful. So, Kay, the name of the event and where it is, we got to know this.
Okay, yes.
I want to go.
Yes, I would love. I'll get you on the guest list. Yeah,
that's how we get it done, folks.
That's how we get it done.
Yeah.
So it's called Sounds on the Skyline. It's at Limestone Rooftop at the Cambria Building on Rainy, which is like right in the Rainy area.
Yeah.
It's on the 18th, so this Thursday.
Okay.
And it's going to be this epic experience of the highest rooftop bar, I think, in Austin. So it's like one of the highest, if not the highest rooftop bar in Austin. And it's a true rooftop bar. It is on the actual top floor. It's not like on like a lower level floor. It's this. And so we're creating an experience with local talent. Nick Nolan is headlining it. We've got 4 artists for the night. We pulled in a bunch of sponsors. So we're going to have specialty drinks. And it's a great place just to connect with community members. You can network, you can dance, you can make it your own for the evening. But yeah, we're going to take you through a really great experience that evening, just with the views of Austin skyline.
And did you say what time?
At 8 p.m.
At 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Thursday, this week Thursday. Okay, yes. Fantastic. By chance, have you heard of a gentleman named Nick Cherwick? N-I-K.
Yeah. We're friends.
Jack dude.
Yeah. Nick and I are I run into him. He has some clients. I have some clients. Yeah, we're definitely in the, yeah.
Do you know what he does?
Yeah, he's a DJ coach.
DJ coach.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure you know. Okay. Cool.
I love Nick.
Yeah. Awesome. So other than the business, this is probably your main focus. Mm-hmm. Sounds like it. Mm-hmm. Right. What comes second to the business right now in your life?
What's second to me is, I would have to say, my health and well-being is very important.
Health and well-being,
yeah. And just like that can encompass like all the pillars of health. I like to get enough time with my friends. I need to get better at taking off time, but I really enjoy what I do. So it feels not like work most of the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, health and well-being, just like getting enough nature, getting enough time with friends, and hanging out with my cat. Yeah.
What's your cat's name?
Liza Jade.
And what's she look like?
Oh, she's beautiful. She's like this long-haired calico, big green eyes, just the cutest thing ever.
Dang.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Freaking cats, they get mixed reviews, okay? Y'all cat haters out there, you just haven't met the right cat. I think cats are freaking funny. I can watch funny cat videos on YouTube for hours.
I do get caught up in that sometimes.
You ever see a cat eat ice cream?
No. Oh my goodness, I bet it.
Look. Cats get a universal brain freeze reaction when they eat ice cream, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Well, top 5. Their faces, every cat will make this face when it hits them, and it's instant, and they go, Seriously, every cat. Go on and watch YouTube cat brain freeze, countless videos. You're going to freaking laugh. It's like if you're having a bad day, there's your go-to.
Oh, I need to check that out.
100% check it out.
Great. Yeah.
So health and well-being. I like that. It's important. What do you do to unwind?
That I'm working on. I think it is just like going for a long walk. Like that is one thing. Like, if I need to reset for something or prep for something, like before I came in for this, I went on a 2-mile walk just to, go around the lake and, just take that in. Getting out in nature really helps me to decompress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Or like going out for a nice, like, couple glasses of wine with a good friend, just like have a really heart-to-heart conversation and just share a nice wine or go to a wine tasting or something like that. Something very like laid back.
Now, folks, believe it or not, we do have a big wine culture in Central Texas. Vineyards everywhere. As soon as you get 35 minutes out of town, go to Southwest Driftwood, Texas, is right at the edge of Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Head out west towards Fredericksburg. Yeah. Vineyards galore.
Yeah, it's
got any favorite spots?
Yes, I just went to Flat Creek Winery. They were great. It was it's like an hour and 10 minutes out of town, and that was lovely. So actually, Carlo, my my right hand man, my assistant, and he works out there part time. So that's how I got connected. So yeah, we actually partner with wineries and different people too. So I'm hoping they partner with us soon. But yeah, that's my favorite right now.
Yeah. That sounds pretty nice. Sounds like a nice way to unwind. I told you I was in France last week, and I went to my second vineyard in my whole life.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. It was a champagne vineyard.
Oh my goodness.
In Champagne, France. 40-minute drive, super easy.
Yeah.
Do a quick tour. At the end, they give you the champagne glasses, 2 different kinds. You sit on this deck and you're looking at the vineyards. All you see is vineyards. It's freaking amazing. Yeah. But to your point, so relaxing. Yeah. Being in that space, that environment, there's something about it. It's like magic. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's where you're coming from.
That's what I love about Flat Creek. They have this beautiful grounds, like they have music, they have everything. But yeah, that's amazing. You were in Champagne drinking champagne.
Fun fact about champagne is that those little grapes are little. Did you know this?
Yeah.
They're super tiny.
Yeah.
And the vines themselves only grow about this tall.
Wow.
2.5 feet.
Huh.
Yes. And they all look like this. You ready? They go up and then they go out. And that's it.
Uh-huh.
Every time.
Yeah.
They always grow like that. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like, how does a vine know to do that?
Huh.
Weird, right?
Yeah. Fun fact. I love that.
Yeah, we're full of miscellaneous information over here at the Austin Podcast. Wow, the wheels are freaking turning. This conversation's buzzing. We're about to even turn up even more. You better watch out, Kay. We're going to go on a Magic School Bus ride soon. Yeah, so, all right, you got the self-care taken care of. Is there anything else we should know that's super important to you in your life right now?
I think time and like how I spend my time is really on my radar. I just went home for 12 days and I saw all the span of my growing up from my childhood to the last place I lived before I moved here. And I saw people from each of those timelines. And that was just so special and so awakening to me, to spend time with my mom, to be on the farm, to, spend time with my college friends, see one of my professors, see the school, and then go off to Fargo. And it was a very packed, 12 days that I was gone. And it was beautiful. And I think it just made me realize the importance of how we spend our time and just how can I spend my time better.
A little perspective shift.
Yeah. Very much, yeah.
Very nice. I'm happy for you that you got to do that. That's huge, right? Yeah. We're all given a finite amount of time, and I think how we use that is should be at the forefront of everybody's mind. Rob Dyrdek and Ed Milet, you know those guys?
Rob sounds familiar.
He was a professional skateboarder, and then he had a TV show on MTV, and then he had another TV show on MTV.
Okay.
And he's a serial entrepreneur, super successful.
Yeah.
He did a podcast, and he was talking about how he looks at his whole life. He says, I want to live till I'm 110. And then he breaks it down from there, and he always talks about eliminating friction, if he finds any friction in his life, he does whatever it takes to remove it.
Love that.
And automate it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And I think the more successful you become, the more resources you have to put towards automation. But you got to start somewhere, right? You got to start somewhere.
100%.
Yeah. Let me fill up the gas tank because the school bus is starting up here. We're going to hop on board, all right? You grew up in Fargo, North Dakota.
Willow City.
Willow
City. It's like
Willow City.
So the geographical center of North America is Rugby, North Dakota. I was born in Rugby. It is a tiny town. But Willow City is about 15 miles north. It's like literally 20 minutes from the Canadian border, but it's a tiny town. Population is like 107.
107. How many people were in your fifth grade class?
Oh, gosh. I think there was like, at that time, maybe 12 of us. Yeah.
12. It's actually a lot.
We were the biggest class, yeah.
Yeah, for 107 people to have 12 kids in one grade. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. What was it like for you? Did you take the school? Did you walk? Or the bus? Did you walk?
I took the bus, when I was young.
Yeah. When you got off the school bus, stepped off, what feelings did you get when you were entering your home?
Entering my home? Good. Relief.
Really?
Yeah.
Relief from what?
School.
Why?
I didn't like school.
Why not?
I was bullied.
How?
I was picked on for like stupid stuff. You know how kids are.
But why you?
I don't know.
What?
Yeah. I don't know.
They would pick on you.
Yeah. I had a lot of energy and I don't think they knew what to do with it.
Dang. Yeah, I had OCD tics when I was a kid.
I had OCD too. The tics. The light switch.
Going up and down the stairs a bunch of times, door handles, stuff like that. Yeah, it's a real son of a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. but whether or not that led to you getting, picked on or whatever, it's not fun. So you go into school. Let's shift the conversation then. So you get off the school bus and walk into school. What kind of feelings did you get there?
That was I would say anxiety.
Yeah.
Anxiety. A fear, a little bit fear, and just kind of like a little oppressed.
Oppressed?
Yeah. I didn't know that's what I felt when I was that age.
Yeah.
But now looking back, it was probably more like I felt like oppressed or unheard when I was young.
Did you get in trouble in elementary school?
I did rebel a little bit, yeah.
How did they handle your punishments? Either the administrators at the school or your family? How did they manage that?
It was pretty standard principal's office thing. It was only like a couple of times but I was rebelling out of like retaliation to being picked on and nobody was listening to me.
I feel that.
And so when I went home, like my mom and I were very close and she was very understanding and encouraged me to just keep going. My creativity is really what saved me. So just like being music, being creative, that's kind of how I coped with it. So I really just, it was a hard time. Not all the time. Like there were happy moments too, but there were a lot of years that were really hard, especially middle school.
And you say only a couple of times. Some kids out there never went to the principal's office in their entire life.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm a rebel.
So for you, a couple of times, some people, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. And that was elementary school?
Yeah. Middle school, elementary, I think, was more so.
Do you remember the faces of the kids that were being like that?
I do.
Yeah. And the reason I'm asking is because I like the premise of this show is to help anybody that listens, to let them know that they're not alone. And hopefully this lands in the ears of kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's my aim here. So the message to the kid that might be listening to this is that you could be going through something similar. You could be getting off the school bus and getting picked on in school, and you won't. The fact of the matter is you won't ever forget it.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? You've got examples like somebody like Kay here who's thriving and successful. So that pain you're feeling today is only temporary. Know that to be an irrefutable fact if you make it that way, because you get to choose in time. Yeah. All right. Dang. Wow, we're really hitting it off hard. Right off the gates here. That's what's up. That's what's up. We're getting it. Oh my gosh. Dang, get out the barbecue. We're out here freaking chopping it up. All right. Now, you get home, you get a relief. Did you talk to your parents? Or did you have two parents or one?
Yeah.
Both.
My dad was away a lot. He was a truck driver.
Yeah.
So like through my middle years growing up, he was gone a lot. So my mom and I are very close. We talked about everything, and she encouraged me, and she got me into all sorts of like creative, like really encouraged me creatively on multiple facets. And so, yeah, I felt good. Home was refuge. Home was good. I would have friends over. I did have friends. I wasn't like, I didn't have friends, but I had friends over. I had my nephews, and they're like my brothers. So, yeah. Felt good at home.
Love that. What's one of your fondest memories being in the elementary age?
Elementary age. I would say just like goofing off with my friends, just being kids. I grew up in the era of like NSYNC, and the music was always a huge part of my life. And so hanging out with my girlfriends, listening to music or playing on my keyboard, getting into music was like some of my favorite memories.
Not only do you like to listen, but you also play.
Yeah.
In some regard. Keyboard?
I played keyboard, played clarinet and hated it. I should have been in percussion. Then I did guitar, loved it, and then vocalist, and I still practice vocalist stuff today.
You're a singer?
I'm a singer.
Never mind. I was going to ask you to sing.
Maybe
but our ears were... No, these headphones would blow out our ears. Yeah, okay. Yeah, later, next time. That's freaking awesome. How has music shaped your life?
Music is my everything. I would say my original love was music, and ever since I was, walking and talking, I was singing and dancing. My mom told me I used to, at like 4 years old, I used to sit and watch Liberace in his sparkly outfits and playing and performing, and I just loved performance. I was performing at the age of 3. Everything I did was like a performance.
Yeah.
And then got into school plays. I remember I was in Pinocchio, and I wanted to be Pinocchio, but like obviously that was like an older kid, a high schooler. But yeah, I was like a sugar plum fairy, and I was like, damn, I wanted to be Pinocchio. But yeah, performance was always a part of my life, and singing, dancing, acting, loved it.
You're in the arts.
Yeah.
No doubt, in all different fashions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the acting, the singing, the music, all of it. Wow, it's fascinating. Not many people do all those types of things. They might stick to one. And something tells me you're relatively decent at whatever you've done in those spaces.
Yeah, but the opportunities I had, I wish I could have done more. But I did do what I could with what I could in a small community.
Yeah, yeah. And then over time, you've narrowed your focus to the event space with the DJing and that kind of what would you call it? That sector of the industry?
Yes, definitely.
Perhaps? Is that a safe thing to say?
Yeah, like working more with DJs and producing events. But talent, I like to work with all sorts of talent and like integrate different talents. But yes, it's always kind of based in the electronic music space, usually.
That's what we're talking about. You do that so naturally. Wow.
I do not beatbox. No.
Yeah, you can.
I can, but I just...
Yes. Wait. Oh, okay.
There we go.
That's enough of that. Fast forward, right? It seemed like elementary school, you had some hot, you had some cold. Overall, you got through it.
Yeah.
Any traumas come from that?
I mean, yes. It was a couple of years ago I just discovered working through that actually impacted, because I kind of put myself, I didn't believe in myself for many years. And then as I grew and as I was able to exit that area of town and are just like staying there and being in that school, I was able to transform. Each little stepping stone was like a little more awakening of my true essence. So, yeah.
Well done. Way to put in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to have that awareness. Awareness is huge, and I think a lot of people shy away from that. Mm-hmm. But when you lean into the fear, when you lean into the pain, that's the darkness. But on the other side of the darkness, there's light. That's a common theme that we cover here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
True.
You've got to be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Middle school. Was that, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade for you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That could be a weird time in
Yeah.
people's lives. Hormones start running rampant.
Mm-hmm.
Things start changing. Boys, for some. Some in elementary school. That's a little weird, too. Anyways, what was it like for you?
Those are
School.
the hardest years. Middle school was the hardest years because we as a class, we were so small that it almost felt like we were fighting like brothers and sisters. Like we were such a small class.
Yeah.
And that was a really hard time for many of us. That's when the bullying got really bad. And that's when I like struggled with like different things like my weight and just different things that were coming into awareness. Like kind of like struggled with like boyfriend, girlfriend kind of stuff. Like I kind of...
You had girlfriends?
No, I had my girly friends, but no girlfriends. But I wasn't the girl that the guys liked. So that was really hard on me when I was into.
Okay, let's face this head on together. Okay? Let's do a little exercise here.
Okay.
Let's be bold and brave. What's one specific example of bullying that you remember like it was yesterday?
We're going there. Okay. There was an occurrence that happened in the lunchroom. A couple of girls thought it would be really funny to put something in my milk. So I was just sitting down to have my lunch, whatever. I think I had chocolate milk. And they had put as a joke, like chocolate X-Lax in my milk. And luckily, I was aware, and it tasted funny, so I didn't drink it.
Yeah.
And then I reported it, and so they got, I think, 3 days suspension for that, like in school suspension.
Yeah.
But that was a bad one.
It was bad because it made you feel bad.
It made me feel bad. Yeah, I didn't get sick. I was like, luckily, I knew, what was going on. But
shoot, if you did drink it, it could have helped you out that day. We just don't know.
Yeah, you never. But I did. I was like,
but that's not the point.
I was like, this tastes really funny, and I just think that experience was just like, I thought that was really low. I was like, whoa, like they've done some shady things, but that one was like really rough. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's fascinating about that? I just saw you going like this as you're talking about it.
Yeah,
you're getting uncomfortable.
Yeah, I had some tension. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Some anxiety.
How powerful of you, though, to speak it exactly the way it was. Now think about this. Where you've come from and where you are now, right? Think about the development that's happened along the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to recognize that. Yeah. Nice work. Whew. Gee whiz. This is freaking great. This is awesome. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. When they did that, did it make you feel kind of like unwanted a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was like kind of a cruel thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah, we're painting a grand picture. So thank you for your patience as we work through all of this. Did you do anything to them?
No, I don't think so. No, I was kind of scared. Being bullied, you kind of get scared of the bullies when you're young.
Yeah.
You don't really know how to stand up for yourself, and
so why? So why you?
I don't know.
Because of this pattern.
I should ask that.
Elementary school.
Yeah.
Transition to middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It was the same kids. The same
freaking kids.
It was a small school. So, a lot of it, I think, went to small town politics. Because, there was my siblings were much older. And a lot of my kids in my class's parents were actually in, like, school within the same years as my siblings. Yeah. And so there was some beef between my sister and one other woman who was a girl in my class's mom. And so I think it stemmed back from that. And then it just became this thing where kids learn from their parents. And that's what happened.
Yeah, I experienced some bullying as well. I remember getting kicked in the back in the hallway one time.
Oh, no.
I almost fell on the ground. But luckily I had my footing. Yeah. That was, one of several occasions. But what I noticed about those kids a few football player dudes. Yeah, majority of them had extreme disruptions in their household.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And another message for any juvenile that's listening to this: there's a good chance that anybody that if they were bullying you, that they're going through some really hard times behind closed doors. There's a good chance, and it has nothing to do with you at all, unless you ask for it. If you're being a jerk, you might be asking for it, but you weren't being a jerk.
No.
Probably just trying to have a good time.
Yeah. Just trying to live the day to day as a 12-year-old.
Respect, Kay. Yeah. So when did you get into music? Was that elementary school?
Yes, I got into music right away. Even younger, I just naturally gravitated to music and singing.
Okay, cool. And then it progressed through middle school.
Progressed through middle school, got into, middle school is when we started. That's when I was like doing more of the clarinet. That's, we had the school band and did that, marching band and stuff like that.
So you were in marching band too?
Yeah.
Really?
I did wear the dickie. Like the...
what?
It's called a dickie.
Hey, this is a family show.
It's called a dickie. It is a little flourishy thing that goes, it's like you wear the old school uniforms and you march in the band and you go like this with your trumpet or whatever you're playing.
Yeah.
And you walk and you have these uniforms, and that's this like fluffy little kind of like part of the dress, part of the uniform. Yeah. So we wore the uniforms and marched in the marching band.
Look, that's no joke, right? Marching band?
Yeah.
Their practices are freaking intense.
It's intense. Yeah.
You probably aren't getting a lot of discipline from doing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we farted around a little bit too.
Well, you got to have some fun. Work hard, play hard. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Any other pivotal moments stand out to you? Maybe something that you're extremely proud of about your middle school experience?
I would say, actually, that goes into my high school experience. I made a really pivotal decision.
So middle school, again, highs and lows.
Highs and lows.
But
you got some highs, some good stuff.
Nothing like really groundbreaking at the time.
No.
Okay, good. So let's transition. Let's go on to high school. What was the name of your high school?
Willow City High School, and then I moved to a new high school.
So two high schools.
Yeah.
Okay. Why'd you move to a new high school?
So small school, like most small schools do, they close, and this was the pivotal moment. I was going into my sophomore year, and we had already done co-op. We co-opted with another town away, with the sports and everything. And this is my last year that Willow was open, and so we were like co-opted with this other town, and there were all these little towns that we could choose. So we got to choose where to go to school. They encouraged us to go to the school that was co-opted with us. And I was on the fence, and my parents let me choose. They said, you get to make this choice where you're going to go to school for your sophomore year. I had the opportunity to go to follow the students that are currently in my classes and go to that other town that we were co-opted with, or I had the opportunity to go to a bigger school and start over. And that was very scary, right?
Yeah, tough decision too.
Tough decision because even sometimes it goes back to sometimes even the pain that we are in, we stay in because there's something comforting because we know it. We know what it is. And it's kind of a weird psychology. You think just run away. But it actually is hard because you become accustomed to, what that is. You know these people, you know what's going on. And after a lot of deliberation, I made the decision to go to the bigger high school and get out of all that, start over.
Yeah. Way to be bold. Yeah. The road less traveled. Mm-hmm. Seek discomfort. Mm-hmm. A lot of principles there. A lot of principles. Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. Have you... Oh, man. I'm seeing some connections here, Kay. You're adventurous. You're curious. You want to learn. You want to grow. Right? When did all that stuff... Have you always been like that? When did that come about?
I would say yes. Yes.
You've always had that innate drive.
Always did. And it, for those few years, it got stifled because I was like, oh, well, there's something wrong with me. Like, just put your head down, just, try to fit in. And then, but I was always adventurous as a young person. I wasn't scared. I didn't have stage fright. I wasn't scared. I loved people. I loved performing. And I just... Yeah, that never was, it didn't find me like later in life. It was like right away. Yeah.
What are your favorite 3 key descriptive words for you?
Oh gosh. Adventurous.
Yeah.
Say thoughtful.
Thoughtful.
Yeah. And energetic. Yeah.
Yeah. Fired up.
Very fired up. Yeah.
Watch out. You wake up and you're like, boom, let's go.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Your dad, your mom, you're having a great relationship with her. She's around. Was she working or was she stay-at-home mom or?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Stay at home when I was younger, and then she worked when I was in more like middle school, high school.
What industry was she in?
She was in healthcare. She helped do activities with the elderly.
Sweet.
And she's a very caring person.
Yeah, that's good. And everything was good. How often did you see your dad?
In the summers he was gone a lot with trucking, and then in the winters he was home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good relationship now?
Well, we weren't really very close ever. Like, it wasn't really good or bad. I was just kind of not really there.
Yeah.
But no, he actually passed in 2016.
It was 16.
Yeah.
That was 8.
Coming up on 8 years.
I can't do math on the fly. 8 years.
8 years.
Okay. Natural causes?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Rest in peace, Dad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And your mom's still around?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're just hanging out with her.
Yeah.
In North Dakota.
North Dakota. On the farm. It was great.
High school. Other than that big decision that you made, it obviously paid off.
Yeah.
What changed in your life since you got into that new school?
I had more opportunities. I met kids that were creative, like more on that like artistic journey. I really, really thrived. I took guitar class. We had guitar offered, and I loved that. I just was obsessed. Got into theater, got into music camp, which was one of my favorite things ever. Really thrived. Like, I found people that I felt like were like me.
Yeah.
And so it was my first step in that direction of finding myself and being like, oh, there's more people like me. Okay, I'm not just this weirdo that's just hanging out. Was just really enlightening to find people.
What a breath of fresh air that must have been.
It was.
Seriously. Mm-hmm. Dang. And it took, 14 years? Mm-hmm. I don't know, high school age, 16 years to get there, something like that.
Yeah.
Man, and what's just wild about that? When you really think about it, it's that you didn't have a choice.
No.
You're out of control. How? And another aha light bulb moment going on here, folks. You're out of control. Oh no, I lost it. Shoot. You're out of control of that stuff. Oh, but it still impacts us later on in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Events, things that we can't control at all holds a heavy weight. What the heck is up with that? What's up with that? It makes me wonder if there's an alternative. It makes me really wonder. Mm-hmm. If things are crappy for you as a kid, right? Which for a lot of kids, it's crappy.
Yeah.
Whether you got bad parents, whether you're not having fun in school, because whatever, right? There's got to be some kind of option because it impacts us for the rest of our lives. Mm-hmm. And some people never heal for one reason or another. Of course, they can take some responsibility and they might not.
Mm-hmm.
Still, if I were to give an answer, bear with me here, I think that there could be systems of checks and balances, just like the government, such as child interviews by a governing body. Hey, how's things at your home? How do you feel? You feel safe? Nobody asks you that in elementary school, middle school, or high school.
Yeah.
Nobody, even your parents, right? You're getting bullied, you're having a hard time, and then they don't listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Then where do you go?
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
And you're screwed.
Stuck in it.
You're stuck. Okay. We gotta fix this, Kay. Let's move on to college. Did you go to college?
I did.
Where?
Minot State. Go Beavers.
The Beavers. Heck yeah, of course you did. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Where is that?
Minot, North Dakota. So do you know Josh Duhamel? He was married to Fergie for a few years.
Yeah.
Josh
The
Duhamel, he went to Minot State. He's from Minot.
Okay.
So it's in the middle of North Dakota.
You know something? Even though it's in the middle of North Dakota, it's probably one of the best colleges on the planet.
I loved it.
Yes.
I had a great time in college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a bunch of college kids in an isolated area. You're going to find out ways to have some fun.
Oh, we sure did. We got real creative. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What do you remember the most about your college experience?
I remember, just my hanging out with my friends and like, especially later in my college career, I got really involved with student government, homecoming court. Like I got really involved, and being in a small school was like, it wasn't intimidating. I could just go and like just start to get involved. And it was really my first experience putting myself out there in that way. So that was a really good memory, just being part of the school activities. Of course, I was the director of entertainment. Should have dawned on me then. I should have had an entertainment business.
That's pretty cool. You got plugged in.
I got plugged in. I was booking like entertainers to bring into the school, like musicians, hypnotists, like all sorts of people. So got to go meet them, and I think that was like an epic time for me, was just exploring even more creativity and other people who are creative. Yeah.
Create. You've said that word several times. That's who you are. That's the fabric of you.
Yeah.
Creativity, expression. It makes me wonder if there's any untapped avenues for you right now. If there's anything lurking in the background that's just waiting to be exposed to the world.
I have one.
Can I ask?
So I'm working on an album.
I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, it's kind of encompasses my experience living here and just how I've navigated. It's kind of on the themes of heartbreak and like rediscovery through heartbreak. And it's something that I've just having these downloads of lyrics coming in, and I'm writing them down, and I know a lot of producers, so we'll see.
So we've got to talk about downloads. Don't let me forget. And we got to talk about heartbreak first, because this is huge. Getting a download is like a divine experience, if you want to call it that. And when they come to you, you got to be ready. You got to be aware and capitalize on them. Okay? And people get downloads. You don't have to be a musician to get a download.
Yeah.
Right? You could be doing anything, and it's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks, and you're gonna feel so inspired and fired up about it. You've got to capitalize on it. Now, is there anything you do to proactively get a download, or they just come out of nowhere?
Most of the lyrics come when I am on a run, a walk or a run, and so sometimes I prep for that, because sometimes I'll do like prayer and meditation before I go for a run. Like I usually will get up, have my coffee, do my prayer and meditation, and then go for my workout. That's usually what I do. So I don't know if that inspires it. Most of them will come like, it's kind of out of the blue, but I know the scenario is usually during movement. Like if I'm running specifically, because I'm not thinking about movement, I'm just going,
That fascinates me, because it seems like you can repeatedly get a download by doing the running. What I've heard on Joe Rogan is he's talked to famous artists a lot, and he sees a theme with them is that sometimes they'll be super drunk, and then they'll create a song that is one of the most famous songs of all time. But that's that specific artist's way they get downloads, and then people across the world get downloads in different ways. And I think it's important for us to figure out what works for us as an individual.
I agree.
Yeah. And you found your way.
Yeah. And I think supplementing too, taking in musical experiences really helps me, is like going to shows, listening to other artists. I'm an avid concourse project goer.
Yeah.
and just going to these shows and just taking in this music. Really, I don't get the downloads there, but I think that inspires that in them to come to me, because I'm filling that cup in that sense of watching others create and watching others and hearing other sounds and other lyrics.
Speaking of Concourse Prod, do you know Johnny? He works there.
Probably. What's Johnny's last name?
I don't know, because his Instagram handle isn't his last name.
Oh.
And I just know him as Johnny, and he works at the gym that I go to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's wants to be a DJ, and he's practicing all the time.
Oh.
Yes.
Link him on.
And to get immersed in the music space, just to absorb and learn and everything. We're gonna link him up. You bet it.
Yeah.
And he works at the Concourse Project.
Yeah.
He's a super awesome guy.
Nice.
He's a trainer too, like at the gym I go to.
Oh, I dig that.
Everybody loves him.
Aw.
Freaking cool. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm connected with Johnny.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Where were we?
We were talking about that Untapped.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm writing an album.
Yes.
And then I think we were on college.
Yeah, and then we're going to talk a little about heartbreak here.
Heartbreak.
Yeah. Before we started hitting the record button, Kay managed to divulge that she went through some heartbreak. Yeah. Well, or it could have not been. It could have been, whatever it was, right? Some marriages, they're no longer in existence.
Yeah.
3?
No, 2.
Okay, 2. Okay. You said the first one was a college guy.
Yeah, I was in college. Yeah.
You're in college?
I was in college when I met him.
Oh, when did you get married?
It was right after I graduated. Yeah.
So you're 21.
I was 20. I stayed 5 years in college, so I was, I think, 22 or 23 when we got married. Yeah, I was young.
How long were you married for?
2.5 years.
That's a big deal, right? Getting married. It's a huge life event. It's a freaking commitment. It's big. And what made you all think it was a good idea to get married?
Well, back in my hometown there, or my college town, it was very common to get married right out of school. Like I was a military town. He was military, and it was just very common to have young marriages. Mm-hmm. So I thought, and I did love him. I did. Like, I felt like this is someone I want to spend my life with. And so when I entered into that, relationship, it was with the intentions to be with him, Yeah. But yeah, it just, some things went down, and it just,
Yes, and it is very simple. It's a very clear-cut thing.
Yeah.
When thinking about getting married is, 1, you love him.
Yeah.
Right? 2, if it's not this, then what is it? Right? Mm-hmm. As far as a marriage partner. If it's not this, then what the heck could it be? Right? Yeah. This just works. And then the second thing for you, which was an outside factor, is where you grew up. If everybody else is doing it, boom. It's a no-brainer. You did it. What happened?
It disintegrated for a multitude of reasons. There was just a lot that went on. I don't think I was prepared. He had also a previous family, and so he had a son, so I became a stepmom. And that I just was kind of didn't know how to do. Like I said, my nephews were my age. Yeah, I just didn't really know what I was doing. And then there were just some other factors that came in where it just became unsafe for me to be in that situation anymore. So
safety first, literally, at all times.
Yeah, and I think it was, he was young too, and I don't know though, but it just, when there was my safety was jeopardized pretty bad one night, and I just thought, I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame you. What did you ultimately learn from that whole process, that whole experience, start to finish?
I learned that, I learned to love somebody for the first time. Mm-hmm. And I also learned that sometimes people aren't who they say they are, or who change as you go. And I also learned that sometimes they're actually more honest than you think they are about who they are, but I wasn't looking at that.
Rose-colored glasses,
exactly. Mm-hmm. I wasn't seeing that. I was seeing the potential he had. I was seeing this version of him that was partially true, but I was ignoring some pretty heavy red flags, but I could feel it in myself that something was up, but I didn't know what it was. And I thought it was just like normal butterflies or, oh, this is how you're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, get that.
Yeah.
My buddy James, my old buddy, we used to be buddies until COVID hit, actually. I had a roommate that we're no longer communicating because during COVID, I went out and I saw 8 people in a week, and he freaked out, and he left the house that he owned, that I was renting a space in, and he moved into his parents' place. Anyways, apparently that was a common thing with roommates back in COVID. 2 different viewpoints. And no offense to you if you were one of those people that were strict about COVID.
No.
I don't judge. Okay, I won't tell anybody. So anyways, he said that emotions, I went off on a tangent there. Emotions are a great companion and a terrible guide.
Yes.
Love. There's a TV show, Love is Blind, right? You fall in love, it's like, oh my gosh, it's the best thing ever. And is it really? And how can you check yourself? And you heard cases time and time again where the family and the friends, they all say, I don't know about this. I don't know. You should do this. And people don't listen. And it's so messed up. Dang it.
Yeah.
Because you have the best intentions, you know?
Yes.
It's messed up.
It is.
It's okay.
My sister, we just talked when I was visiting, and she's like, I remember telling you, don't have to marry him. I didn't remember that. I didn't remember that conversation. And I was like, oh, man. Okay. Yeah. But I was so set on this, and yeah. And
You know, I got to ask this question because I got married. Told you this as well. And I got to ask, why did I do it so soon? I got married. I popped the question after 6 months and got married at 9 months. The same thing. It's like everything's just seemed right. And that's it. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But the gold from that, Kay, here we go. Thank you for your patience again. The gold from that is that we tried. There's some people that are scared and never try it. They don't put themselves out there. They don't experience love.
Yeah.
They like the idea of it. They won't actually go for it. So way to be bold and do it anyways. Didn't work. Guess what? You're playing your best game, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So, after that ended, where'd you go next?
After that ended, shortly after I launched my first company, and then I moved to Fargo. It was a couple years later. Yeah.
What was your first company's name?
At Coté Creative Graphic Design Studio. I still have it.
You do?
Yeah, it still exists.
You got clients?
Yeah, I do.
Freaking far out. Far out in Fargo.
Far out in Fargo.
Way to go. A serial entrepreneur.
Yes.
And two thriving businesses. That's just pat yourself on the back. That's great. What kind of memorable moments come to mind when thinking about your post-first marriage to where you're at right now? I'm talking about significant life events, good, bad, in between.
Oh my goodness. Well, lots happened since then. I mean, I lived in South Africa. I mean, how far do we want to take this?
Yeah, no, but whatever comes to mind first. I'll stop you when it's time. Don't worry.
So, I mean, on my move to Fargo, I met my second husband.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like,
how old were you when you met your second husband?
I was 26.
Okay.
So it was a few years later.
Yeah.
And I was getting ready to move and had this whole plan to head out towards LA area and do this backpack thing in my car. I don't know. It was I was developing something. I'm really glad it didn't happen because I was not ready. I was not nearly ready for that. However, yeah, it was my last weekend living in Minot, and I was hanging out at a little Irish pub, and I was singing with the house band and everything that night, I think. And yeah, that's when I met my second husband. And then
he saw you singing.
He didn't see me singing. He saw me. I was sitting having a glass of wine by myself, and he just came up and he was very kind, and he asked me to dance.
And you did.
And I did.
And then you got married.
We had a whole time in South Africa and everything there. Yeah.
How long were you married for?
We were married 7 years.
7.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
what happened?
It was...
You did a great job at explaining the first one without going too far into detail. And so don't,
Okay.
do that again to whatever you're
Yeah.
comfortable sharing. Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. We got married very quickly. So he's from South Africa. And so he was on an egg visa, and they bring South Africans over and they do farming in rural communities across the U.S. And so we met, and then we had about 2 to 3 months before his visa was up. And so I was moving to Fargo, so we would commute back and forth. And he was working in Williston, which was even further east, 7 hours commute. So we made that work, kept communicating everything. And then when it came down to him going home, he said, would you like to come to South Africa for a few months? And I thought, this is perfect, because I was already preparing to be in this like backpacker phase of life where I went minimalist. I got rid of everything. It was just me and my cats. And then we ended up going to South Africa, met his family. And then timelines were tight because we had, to come back, and he got another egg visa. And then we got an immigration lawyer and made sure we were doing everything right. And we went through that process, which was over a year. So we just were so into the chaos of it all, the processes, that we didn't really get to know each other, I don't think, in our truest form.
You're focused here instead of the relationship.
Yes. And that's kind of so we got married, we built a business together. We found that was really a good thing we could do together. We did it in South Africa too. And then after we closed the business, everything kind of started to fall apart. And I actually started to notice some of the same patterns as the first husband. And then I was like, oh, okay. I'm seeing patterns. And then I'm also like, okay, self-check, like what's going on? Like, why is this happening? Why is this the second time? Very similar.
How much are you willing to share about those patterns?
It was just, multiple levels of abuse, of just being in really bad situations, feeling unsafe. And, there's a lot that went into it, of a lot of this heightened energies and just that kind of experience. And so we moved to Austin together in December of 2022.
Oh.
And it was his idea. We had lived here previous to that in an RV for a few months.
Yeah.
So we spent some time in Austin, and then moved back to Fargo. And then it was his idea to move back here. And I was upset, because I was like, you told me we weren't doing that. Like, you said no to Austin. All of a sudden, Austin's on the table. I was confused. I said, all right, we're going, but I'm not leaving this time. I'm staying here. And we came out here, and within 4 months, it wasn't working. It was really crumbling, getting really, really unhealthy. And so we decided to take a separation. And he went back to Fargo. He was still on with his old job, so he was able to pick that up. And we just tried it. And we said, this is getting really toxic for us. We were in agreements there. So we said, all right, let's just try this and see how we feel. And we both felt lighter. We both felt like it was tension lifted. And so I call that a letting grow, and rather than a letting go. We let each other grow. We weren't going in the same direction, and it was causing a lot of friction. And so this one, I came at it from a much more mature perspective, and not so focused on the emotions involved, but focused on what is happening here and how can we change it, and what does it take for that to change. And he felt the same. So we were in agreements with that. So it ended, both of them actually ended very peacefully. Both of them. I felt like it was something that we had discussions about, and we were adults about it. We weren't fighting in that part of things. It was like, this isn't working. How can we change this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What did you learn from that?
I learned that patience is a very good thing. Patience is a very good thing. Let yourself get to know somebody. I learned that, I am still open to love. I'm not jaded by it. I mean, there's moments. I also learned that I needed to discover my true self before I enter into something again, and not just pour myself, like become what someone wants me to be, or become, like almost like latch on to them. But like, I want to develop me fully. or at least be on that path. And I feel like now that I'm on that path, I'm more focused on who I'm meant to be, at least at this season in life. Then that opens me up to meeting people who would be a better fit for me.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, what I notice about both circumstances is that you didn't really point fingers. There's no anger in your voice. It's almost as if you simply look at them as lessons, and it's big. It speaks volumes about your character. Has anybody ever told you that?
Yes, yeah, actually. So that, thank you. Yeah, I just
Wow.
I don't think there's a reason to like be angry or point fingers. And I have moments where it does bubble up. It's have moments of being upset about certain things that I remember that come up. That's human. But all in all, I think they're both, human beings that are just trying to figure out their path too. I don't really label them as like bad people. I think they're just human beings having an experience. And we learned, and I've actually found forgiveness with both of them. We've had discussions. One of them was a year later. The first one, it was a year later actually, and I sent him a text randomly, and I said, I just forgive like all of this. And that was actually the night I met my second husband.
Are you a church woman?
I'm a believer, yeah.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I'm a believer.
Yeah, nice work. Nice work. Yeah, forgiveness. Right? They talk about that a lot in the church community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've exercised that practice as well from time to time in my adult life, looking back onto some relationships that might have gone awry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's extremely liberating.
It is.
To forgive.
It helps you heal, because when you harbor that in here, whether it's a secular forgiveness or a religious forgiveness, whatever it is, I mean, when you harbor anger and like those negative kind of emotions in here, you can't. You're holding it on. It hurts you. Holding on to those negative emotions only hurts you. It's not.
It's true.
It's like letting those go. Forgiveness is a healing journey. Sometimes you don't get to talk to that person, but you can still forgive that situation. You can forgive yourself. You can forgive them in your heart.
Dang.
If you can't talk to them. I
think I got to forgive my ex-wife. I think I have to. Because when I think about her, I get this darkness and this where I'm kind of finger pointing, a little victimhood-esque, and wow, yeah, I'm gonna practice that. Tomorrow morning. That's really good. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
that's good. Okay. Gee whiz, this is amazing. Ooh, Kay. All right. Let's get to know you a little bit more on a different level now.
Okay.
Right? We talked about pretty much a good bit of your life story. Super fun. And what's a hobby that you like to do that not a lot of people know about? Or a thing that you like that not a lot of people know about?
Thing that I like that not a lot of
people anything
know about. That's a tough one.
You binge watch a certain TV show, or are you like a super K-pop fan and you don't should tell people? You know what I mean? Any kind of thing.
I love murder mystery, and like I'm one of those, like I will fall asleep to Mr. Ballin, like shout out Mr. Ballin podcast. It's The Strange, Dark, and Mysterious, I think it is. I love like psychology and like murder mysteries and stuff, and like psychology, just get in here, and like wonder what makes people tick. So I studied sociology a little bit in college too. So I really enjoy just like understanding behavior and like people and why we do the things we do. And like some of those are just some of the most extreme cases, you're like, wow, it's fascinating. It's disturbing, but it's like fascinating what people get into. I mean, that's probably why true crime is so popular. I am a huge true crime junkie. Like it's kind of like where I just don't think about anything and I just try to figure out the story or solve it, or be like, what the heck is going through that person's mind? Or I'm like, why didn't she see the signs? This was gonna happen. I go there too. But no, it's kind of fun. I don't know.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me, or brings up another good question here. And throughout your life, remind me of a time where you've been the most excited.
Oh my goodness. I would say this year.
This year?
I am so excited.
No, stop it.
No, I'm so excited. I see what's going on with Amplify EDM, and it's so driving. It's so motivating, and I just am so excited to see when I see an artist on stage just like in their element, and like I see people enjoying the music. It's something I've never felt before in my life. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's energy you should protect. That's freaking awesome. I'm glad I get to talk with you during this time in your life. That's freaking amazing. I can sense that, by the way. The way you walk around, you've got this this posture about you, right? Where you're like laser focused, forward focused on the move. Yeah, protect that. That's amazing. Congrats, by the way. It's a season of abundance for you.
Yes.
Yes. Lovely. What kind of food is your guilty pleasure?
Oh gosh. Oh, I'm a foodie. I love girl dinners. You know what girl dinners are?
Yeah, the girls get together.
Well, girl dinner is like, it's like a bottle of wine and charcuterie. Like, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
But like noshy things, like small plates. But I mean, I love like sushi and like it's hard to pin it down.
I'm talking Ben and Jerry's ice cream or something.
Oh,
yeah,
like
a
guilty pleasure.
Or maybe, did your mom bake growing up?
Yeah, I'm not a big sweets.
You're not a sweets person.
Yeah, I like dark,
maybe
dark
it's mashed
chocolate.
potatoes with 10 pounds of cheese in it or something. I don't know.
I guess like one thing I want to do that I've never done that it's like I feel like I would love would be like crab leg crawfish boil, like a seafood boil where you just dig in, you have like the bib and it's just a mess.
It's a visceral experience.
Yeah, I've not done that yet. So I think that's my bucket list is that.
You're going to get it done.
I want to get it done. So if you know of any good like seafood boils, like hit a girl up.
Yeah, you know, there's a bar off Shoal Creek Boulevard. Okay, real close to downtown, right? And Shoal Creek Saloon, I think it's called, even.
Okay.
And they do the crawfish when they're in season.
Okay.
You go over there, you order 12 or 20 or whatever it is. Boom, they pop them out on a hot plate.
Yeah.
You get to cracking with the potatoes and the corn and the sauce.
Okay.
Keep an eye. Just whenever the crawfish season is gone over there, you're in. You're done. It's a wrap.
Okay.
Enjoy yourself.
I love that. Yay.
Yeah. So let's paint a picture here. That was, thank you for sharing those, by the way. Let's paint a picture of the bright, shiny future, right? Where are you going with all of this?
It's a beautiful question. So I want to develop the Amplify EDM to be just a very slick, chic, like, you know, you're going to get the best service ever entertainment company, and just continue to build that out. And eventually I want to see what makes it work and see what makes it function. And then I want to expand it into other communities and to other areas. Whether that, I don't know where yet. I know that it's going to be something I'm going to have to travel to, and it's going to be a feeling. Like the feeling I got when I moved to Austin was there was an energy here that welcomed creative collaboration, music, and growth. And I think that energy in another community, you have to feel it. You have to go there and feel it. And so I think that's going to be, it will expand. I definitely see it expanding. I just don't know where it'll expand yet. But yeah,
What drives you?
Drives me? A big part of it actually stems back to when I was young, and inclusivity, and when I meet artists and I meet people who are alone on their journey and maybe are experiencing self-doubt, or they don't feel like they're good enough because they haven't produced a song yet, or they're artists are feelers. And if I can give them a space to feel included, loved, supported, where they can work with other artists, make really cool things happen, and feel like they're heard, that's big for me, because I didn't have that.
Folks, hold the phone. Sound the alarms. I'm about to drop a freaking bomb right now, okay? What Kay is sharing with us right now is the fact that she took an extremely dark time in her life and she flipped it on its belly into something immaculate, okay? She said, I don't want people to feel that way. Let me create this space to where they feel at home. Are you kidding me? And it's working.
I think that's why it's working, because it's like true.
It's true. And the message there that I think that I'd like to share that might not be so obvious is that we have that choice. We bring up choice all the time on this podcast. It's freaking awesome. We have the choice to do that every circumstance. There's always a lateral option. There's always a way to turn something negative into a positive.
Thank you.
Be fired up.
Fired up.
At a minimum, right?
The raver arms.
Is that what that is? Yeah, and you can dance. You can do the
shuffle.
The shuffle. That's freaking impressive. Wish I could do the shuffle.
We could teach you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can do it.
No, I know. No, I know I can. I haven't learned it yet.
Yeah.
And I want to learn it.
Okay, we'll teach you how to shuffle.
Thank you, Kay.
Okay.
Thank you. So, all right. What's the legacy you want to leave on the earth? It's 100 years from now, okay? No. It's 200 years, and your great-great-great-grandkids are listening to this, and they want to get to know you. So here they are here listening to your story. What do you want to share with them?
That no matter what circumstances that you have, you can tap into your superpower. Every person on this planet has a superpower. And it sometimes takes a few years to discover it. Sometimes you find it right away. Sometimes it shifts and molds and grows with you. But each and every person has something special to offer. And that's something that, you don't have to look like the next person. You don't have to be the next person. You be you, and just ask yourself, start diving in. Ask yourself, what is my purpose here? What am I meant to do here? And it can change throughout your life many times, as mine has. But I always go back to the same principles are always there when I look at it. And so find that in yourself. I had those same principles when I was 5. I had the same. So yeah, look into who you are and compare yourself to you and forget about everybody else.
That's powerful. What also comes to mind that coincides with that is really ask yourself what you want. Don't be afraid of the answer. Don't judge yourself from the answer for whatever it is you come up with. Let's say you want to be a professional YouTuber. Nothing wrong with that. Go for it. Do it. It's what you want. You get one life. You should do what you want. Within reason, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hurt other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, they live in a box. They live out of fear. And they don't go after what they want. No fear. You're not one of those people.
It took a lot to get here, and fear still gets me, but fear doesn't really go away. It's what you do with it that matters. It's a feeling. It's there. It's going to try to hold you back. It also can keep you safe. Sometimes fear is a good thing.
Well, yeah.
It's a good thing.
Safety.
Yeah,
like physical safety.
Physical safety, fear. But there's some fears that are irrational. There's fears that hold you back. And so looking at fear as a tool, as a something you can learn from. Don't fear the fear, but actually press past it sometimes or listen to it, just like any other thing. But yeah, you're not a victim of fear. Fear is a tool.
I've never heard that before.
I've never said that before.
That was a download you just got.
That was probably a download.
Dang it. That's what I'm talking about. Downloads happening over here. Cool. I'm thinking, I don't want to miss anything. We talked about your legacy. That's important. Yeah. Last thing we're going to ask you today, okay, because this is super sweet. If there's something you want to share with your mom and perhaps your dad, whatever you're feeling called to do, what would you want to share with?
No, I hope I don't get emotional. I think I would say thank you for doing the best you could. And I wouldn't be who I am today without you. Dad, I wish I could have known you a little better. Kind of tap into your hidden potential. And Mom, you're a rock star. You're the strongest person I know. And I couldn't be here doing what I'm doing without your beautiful energy and your love for every single person that you've come into contact with. And you have given your life for those you love. And so thank you for your skills that you've given me. Dad, I'm building a party business that I'm sure came from you. And Mom, you keep me grounded.
Yeah. Love that. Kay, how do people get a hold of you?
You can find me on all the platforms. I am at the Kay Coté on Instagram, and then also at Amplify EDM, and then amplifyedm.com. It links you with all of our party services. And so, yeah, definitely reach out. You can book a call. You can come find me at a party. Yes, give us a follow. And definitely find me at an event. I'd love to see you there and give you an epic experience and get to know you.
So the moral of the story is either you're in Austin or you're not. And if you're not in Austin, you should come visit. And when you come visit, touch base with Kay, get the inside scoop on the next event, and have an incredible experience.
Ooh.
Kay, thank you so much. This was epic experience listening to your story. And it's so inspirational because, you know, all the things that you've gone through in your life, the way you look at those things and how you've used them to your advantage. You've taken control of them. You've owned them. And here you are now. You're shaping the music industry. You're doing things differently. You're being bold and brave. You should be extremely proud of yourself for that. And I can probably talk on behalf of anybody listening to this. We're all excited to see where you go next. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Folks, my name is Greg Carlson with Kay Coté. Till next time, everybody, Awesomely Podcast. Stay fired up.